That's right, and then we're going to change gears and learn about a revolutionary new technology called floating islands. And these floating islands are helping our wetlands.
Oh yeah.
I believe we're the first TV show to ever cover floating islands.
Lots of pressure.
A little bit of pressure there. So you ready to learn about floating islands and see what we learned from our friend Jim Greasy?
Of course, why not?
Let's do it. Aquakids, let's go.
To Aquakids.
Okay, this is the BioHaven floating wetland, and it
Kevin?
is made of... Yes.
Hi, I'm
Hi.
Molly with Aquakids. Looks
Hi,
like
Molly.
Pat already found you.
Oh yeah, he did.
How you doing?
I have him looking at this island here.
Cool. Well, that's what we came to talk about. Guys,
Okay.
this is Kevin Hedge, and he's with Blue Wing Environmental Solutions and Technologies,
That's right, yep.
And they have this cool new project called BioHaven Floating Islands. So let's talk about that project. This is really cool what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
Okay, great. We're at the Chesapeake Bay Environmental Center, and we have a 64-square-foot island in the lagoon, the stormwater pond behind me. And the island is made of recycled plastic, and it has marine-grade foam injected into it, right here, to hold these layers together. And these layers are made of the recycled plastic. This is recycled plastic bottles. So all those plastic bottles that you throw into the recycle container, they go to a company to get melted down, and they transformed into this magic layers of matrix here that does all the work to clean up the environment.
See, we preach and preach about recycling.
I know.
Every bottle counts. You
That's
can make
right.
cool things like this
That's
with
right. And in a big 250-square-foot island, which is one of the biggest islands that's a standard size that we sell, there's 3,000 bottles, more than 3,000 plastic bottles. So it's a great reuse of those bottles. Yeah, they all float around in the bay anyway, and they get this slime on them. So that's the general concept we're talking about. But what we've done is have created an island matrix that the bacterial and that slime, that biofilm, becomes a way for cleaning the water. And we're using nature to clean the water, and we've put nutrients in the water way faster than what nature can take it out. So this is a way to restore balance to the ecosystem and create a more natural setup in ponds and all kinds of waters all across the country.
So how does it work?
That's a great question. What we do is we plant plants in the island before it gets launched, and when it gets launched into the water, about half of it is submerged, half of the height of the island. And eventually the plant roots grow through the matrix into the water below. And they're really happy plants because there's a lot of nutrients out there. What they do is they actually add surface area to what we're talking about here, and the surface area is the key to the island's effectiveness. The surface areas become colonized by naturally occurring bacteria and microbes that are really good at soaking up nutrients. So what we have is a concentrated wetland effect in a really small package that's really good at cleaning the water.
Are the islands connected to the bottom, or are they just free-floating?
They can do both, actually. One of the things as a wetland scientist that attracted me is you can make any size islands, you can configure it any way and put it in a pond and just let it float around and let the wind blow it. Or in certain situations, you may want to anchor it to the bottom.
Lots
and
of
actually,
waves.
yeah, the wave action is a great use, and we can tether them to pilings in like the tidal Chesapeake Bay or other areas.
It's awesome.
So this can be used anywhere. Really.
Absolutely, absolutely. Everywhere from a backyard pond to a wastewater treatment plant to the Chicago River, Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard. We got some cool projects going.
So how do these islands fit into the ecosystem and the food chain of where we are, the Chesapeake?
Well, here in the Chesapeake, and really in any other water body across the world, the islands have a place by creating wildlife habitat both above and below the water. Because you have a dense plant mass growing above the water, you have habitat for birds and insects and even your semi-aquatic animals. As far as below the water, you have the root mat and the biofilm and those bacteria which form the base of the food chain. So that's really what attracts animals into the water body. If you have just algae-choked ponds with no wildlife, no aquatic insects or fish, and you put one of these in, you're going to attract animals and fish and insects and turtles. I've seen water turtles on these. I've seen all kinds of amphibians on these. So it's a great tool for creating wildlife habitat.
It's strange because it feels just like the scrubby pads that you use to wash dishes
Right.
at home.
That's exactly right.
That's neat.
That's
It's a
what
big
it is.
scrubby pad.
It's a big scrubby pad.
But you want things growing on this one. You
Oh yeah.
probably don't want things
well,
growing
if you
on
put
your
that scrubby
dishes.
pad out in the water, it will get the bacteria growing on it just if you left it long enough.
What are your future plans for the floating islands?
That's a great question. Thanks for asking. We really want to educate people about the technology, talk to the government and the regulators about what it is when we go to them and try and propose projects to help clean the water. The other thing is that we want to really help clean up the Chesapeake Bay. We've chosen a specific area of the country to market and distribute these for a reason, and that's from Virginia to New York, which is the entire Chesapeake Bay watershed, or 64,000 square miles. Wow. What we would like to see is floating islands in every farm waste pond, every wastewater treatment lagoon, under every pier or near every marina, in and around the waters that flow into the Chesapeake to catch some of those nutrients before they even get down here to Maryland. That's our ultimate goal.
This is just such a cool project because it really brings it full circle. You start with something that we're doing wrong, which is a lot of plastic waste.
Right.
But if we recycle them properly, we can actually create a product like this that allows us to filter out all the bad things that we continue to put in the water.
Absolutely.
It goes full circle.
Absolutely. Cool. Yeah, the educational aspect of what we're doing is great, where kids can go out and collect recyclables and then kind of turn them into something else that's beneficial.
Right, and they can see the results of the
project. You can see the results.
Right,
you could have a sign on your island that says so-and-so school island. You know?
Yeah.
It gives them ownership of them. We all know that's important for getting kids involved.
And they're pretty to look at,
They are. They really are.
Well, thank you so much.